Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about absolute value. First thing that you guys need to focus on is what is absolute value and what it means. So absolute value is going to look, let me get my pen real quick. Absolute value is going to look just like this. There's going to be a value inside and it's going to be followed by two parallel lines right next to it. What those two parallel lines do, they turn anything inside into a positive. So you're going to have a positive value every time you put something inside of an absolute value. That's the main thing about absolute values, and you don't really need to know much more than that just to move on to the next section. So I'm going to erase this real quick. Clear page. Now, let's say I give you an equation, because today we're going to be solving for equations that have absolute value. So let's say I give you something like this. It's going to be x plus 5 equals 10. Now, like I said, the inside is going to always be turned into a positive. What this is going to do, basically I'm saying that f plus 5 is the same as 10. But the absolute value turns any value inside into a positive, so I could also have a negative 10 in there and it would still mean the same thing. I could have a negative 10 right here and it would also equal to 10. Correct? As well as I can have a 10 inside and it would equal 10. Because absolute values turn anything that you put into them into a positive. Now, that's going to be important right now because in order to solve for this equation, you're going to have to do just that. First, you're going to have to write your two different equations. So whenever you're working this type of problem, you're always going to have two different equations. The first one's going to be exactly like you see it on top. So x plus 5 is equal to 10. Your second one, it's going to be a little different. So it's going to be x plus 5. But instead of actually having a positive 10, we're actually going to put a negative 10 on there. There we go. That's all you're going to do. At this point, the next step is very easy. All you got to do is just solve for x. So for the first one, we're going to have what? Minus 5. Minus 5. Let me erase my little mistake I did there. Oh my god, it's not erasing. There we go. Now, minus 5, which those two 5s cancels out. And we are left with x is equal to 5. Perfect. Now let's do the other side. Now we're going to do minus 5, minus 5. Minus 5 minus 10 is going to equal to x is equal to negative 15. So now we have two answers. What do we do with these two answers that we just got? We have to make sure if they are valid for our statement on top. Basically, we have to make sure that the statement on top is true for both cases. It might only be true for one case, or it might be not true for either of the cases. But let's figure it out. So let's plug this into the equation. So I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna erase this, and I'm gonna plug in the values that I got. So you're gonna plug it into the absolute value equation. We had a 10. The first value that we got was 5, right? So we have 5 plus 5 is equal to absolute value of 10. So whenever x is equal to 5, it's true. Oh, I don't know how to write true. There we go. It's going to be true for the statement. It's going to be true for the whole statement, right? For x is equal to 5, it is true because as soon as we plug it in, we have 5 plus 5, which is equal to 10. Very easy, very straightforward. Now let's try the other value that we got. We got negative 15. X is equal to negative 15. So I'm going to have my absolute value. I'm going to have negative 15 plus 5. Correct? It's going to equal 10. Now, negative 15 plus 5 is going to equal negative 10. But like we said before, whatever is inside an absolute value is going to turn into positive. So basically we have 10 is equal to 10. So it is true that f of negative 15 or x is equal to negative 15 is also true for the statement above. That's how you're going to be working most of the problems that are going to be giving you the equal sign. On the next video, I'm going to be talking about how to work inequalities and what's the difference between them. So that was it. Make sure you enjoyed it.